Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and happy holidays to all. Welcome to another edition of Homie Picks. This is the Christmas week. We are in the holiday season. Ben, happy holidays to you, my brother.
Thank you, sir. Happy holidays to you, friend.
Thank you, and everybody as well. Happy holidays to all who's watching. How are you going to spend this holiday season, sir?
Family. Go to my mom's house for a bit. After that, I'm not 100% sure. Probably go family hopping. So
I feel you. Me, probably gonna be working. Well, I will be working, and then
yeah,
on top of that, during probably lunch break, I'll be watching football. Typical boring stuff, right? But somebody's got to do it. But this week, week 16, we aren't joined by Lou this time, but Lou is definitely giving his picks in. He's had some emergency holiday cooking to do. So us guys over here, we ain't doing the cooking, so
we just eat.
We just eating. So, but Lou was not off. Lou was giving his picks in remotely. So you'll definitely see his picks on the bottom as usual. But this is Saturday games. Hopefully we don't have any Tuesday games like we did last week, due to COVID and so forth. Things are kind of getting a little bit out of control with this stuff. Tis the season, right? But
yeah.
We got Thursday games, Saturday games, Sunday games, and Monday games. First off with the 49ers against the Titans. Niners going into Tennessee are a 3-point favorite. Titans are plus 144. I know that's your division rivals. And I know you definitely were wishing ill on Tennessee. But
yes, that's why I was glad to take that out last week. I was like, it's all right. It's the Titans loss because I had picked them to win.
So are you picking them to lose again or picking them to do what?
Well, this time around, I actually like the Niners team. They're a very dangerous team, I think. So I'm gonna go with the Niners. I like their defense, how they're playing. They've been playing really well. Again, Jimmy G, he's doing just what he needs to do. They're moving the ball, so I like what they do. And right now, Tennessee, they really miss Henry. It really threw off their game plan. And then the wide receivers being hurt doesn't help them. I mean, they got Julio, but he's not the same player, so he can't take over a game like he used to. But so yeah, I like the Niners.
Yeah, I'm on the same board as you on this one. I think as much as Tennessee needs this game to stay in the conversation of being the AFC South champs, I think the Niners are going to fight for this one a little bit more because they are right there at the playoff door, and they control their own fate for the most part. It's the final 3 weeks, week 16, 17, 18. Niners got to play hellacious ball. I mean, I know they lost D Ford for the rest of the year, but at the same time, the Niners, they're playing with some inspiration. And, even though they were my pick to win the West, they're looking like a sneaky good pick going into the playoffs. So I'm actually going on the Niners board also.
They got healthy at the right time. Their pieces started to fall together, and Kittle. I don't think Titans can stop Kittle. I'm sorry, he's gonna have a monster game.
Yeah, I don't see that either. I think definitely, as much as we can criticize Shanahan and so forth, they've stayed even keel. They didn't fold, and with the injuries and so forth, it was easy to just write off the season. Throw in Trey Lance, see what he could do, and then worry about next season. But they stuck with it as disorganized as possible at times, but they stuck with it, and they started to catch fire at the right time. and that's what matters most. Catching fire at the right time.
Definitely.
Going to the next one, we got your Colts going against another one of the Niners' division rivals, the Cardinals, who've kind of been on a little bit of a slide. Cardinals, Kyler Murray, I don't know what's going on. Like, it's like dude was looking like the MVP, potential MVP of this year. And, it's like his face last week said everything we needed to say. But Colts, Cardinals, this one is really one of the most. Cardinals are 1.5 point favorite. Colts are a plus 100. I mean, even the odds makers think this one can go either way. And this for good reason. I mean, is it because it's the moment, the Cardinals slacking a little bit, or is it because the Colts are becoming a better team? I think with the Cardinals having the Rams right there as their biggest threats to being the champs of that division. I don't know. I think last week left a bad taste in the Cardinals' mouth. But at the same time, I think Jonathan Taylor is going to just run through them too. I think Carson Wentz can throw some intermediate passes on them. Cardinals haven't been that stout on defense lately. So it looks like I'm going for the road team again in this one. I'm going for your Colts. Ben, going into sunny Arizona on a beautiful Christmas evening.
It would be a beautiful Christmas present. Colts win. I'm picking the Colts myself on this one. Initially, when the year first started and I knew we were going to play this team, I was going to lean on Arizona because at that time they were so hot. But like you said, they've stumbled. Ever since Kyler got hurt, I think he's rushed it back a little bit to get back in, and he's not 100% yet. Now they're missing DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think they can rely too much on AJ Green. I mean, he's a little bit older. They lost some people on their line on the defense. I think Watt's still hurt, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, their defense is not playing as it was. They're making some weird plays sometimes. Can blame that the coach, I guess. But I don't know. And right now the Colts are hot. I mean, they have the hot hand. They just beat the Patriots, and like you said, I think Jonathan Taylor can run through them. They can literally control the clock and keep Kyler off the field. But again, like I said, he's been struggling offensively lately. So I like how our defense is playing. Again, we're still number one in takeaways. So I think we can force some turnovers. And again, I think Carson Wentz just needs to do just enough. We haven't leaned on him much. We haven't had to. So I like our chances.
Yeah, I like your chances too. If I'm not mistaken, isn't D-Hop out too until possibly tomorrow? So
yeah, he's out.
You're relying heavy on AJ Green, and those. I mean, the man doesn't have
Christian Kirk, and
it's looking kind of bleak for that. Not to say that they can't do it. I mean, if you are going to play like a champion, you got to do what you got to do. In every scenario, but I think the Colts are going to take a nice little lead on the AFC South. If everything falls into place like that. Going to our third game, we got the Rams against the Vikings. Rams are a 3-point favorite. Vikings are a plus 130. Matt Stafford has finally turned it around after those abysmal three straight games. He finally realized he's not in Detroit anymore. But you're going against a really feisty ass Vikings team, which, depending on the week, you have a good cousins and a bad cousins. It's like family. You got the fucked up cousin, but you got the good cousin. So it's
and I think their defense this year too is like you don't know which one's showing up. So,
but which one you think is gonna show up this side?
Bad scenario.
So which one you think is gonna show up on
I think it's gonna be that uncle you don't want to see, bro. I think it's gonna be that the defense that represents that uncle you don't want to see. That's the defense that's going to show up for Minnesota. I feel like for 3 quarters of that game, they're going to crunch down on the fourth quarter. It's going to get close, and they're going to lose by 3. So I'm taking the Rams. I, I it could be a high scoring game. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's going to be a little bit more defensively. Jokes aside, I think the Vikings are going to play decent enough defense, but I think right now the Rams are just starting to click, and they're even starting to get OBJ involved. So they're getting all their pieces going. Stafford looks very much more comfortable after the bye. So yeah, I like the Rams in this one. Like I said, it could be close because that's just what the Vikings do. They just let them have a big lead, and somehow they manage to claw back in just to lose by 3. So I can see that's happening.
You know, one thing that, everybody started to say when they got Von Miller was, oh, this is going to be the craziest defense. You got stars on 3 levels of the field, and they weren't really doing too much with that. And little by little, the Rams have figured it out defensively and offensively. OBJ has been, he's been productive, especially since they lost Robert Woods.
Robert Woods. Robert Woods.
When they lost Robert Woods. So, Cooper and OBJ has been a nice little tandem. The defense has been playing a lot better. The Vikings, have been playing decent football, but they just don't play consistently good football. Like last week, Rams, Bears, Vikings, Bears, of course, Justin Jefferson can do whatever he wants against the Bears. Can he do that against Jalen Ramsey and the Rams? And it's possible. He could do that. Just like Cousins, he could do that, but then he's also had down, it's like the up and down, and because he's playing against the Vikings are playing against a very focused Rams team, it makes that real difficult. It's kind of hard for me to pick this one because I know Minnesota isn't that team that usually wins back-to-back games. So that kind of makes this like a little bit tough. So just off of strength for that, I'm going to kind of lean towards the Rams. I think Minnesota has a really good chance of winning at home. They understand same thing too. It's 3 games left, but unfortunately, the Rams also know that there's only 3 games left, and they need to rack up as many wins as they can to try to keep the Cardinals off and also keep pressure on Green Bay. The Green Bay team that wasn't for a 2-point conversion could have even easily lost last week, but I'm not going to talk about that. But and depending on how the output, the game goes on Saturday, it could easily lose against Cleveland. But the main thing is Rams, Cardinals, all those top teams are trying to keep pressure on Green Bay, and Green Bay sort of door opening when they saw the Buccaneers lose 9-0 against the Saints. So, everybody's having the eyes on the prize, and everybody wants number 1, and so the Rams are chasing that. So I think the Rams are going to win this one also. Next one is the rematch from the I don't even know what to call that windy ass game in Buffalo, but Buffalo's going into Gillette.
The carry.
The carry game. That's literally all it was. Carry game. It was only like 4 passes the entire game. But so Buffalo is going into New England, a rubber match, rematch going to Gillette. Patriots, however, are a 2.5-point favorite. Buffalo is a +116. Buffalo definitely needs this damn game. They
lose, they're practically out.
Yeah, they lose their it makes it real tough. And honestly, Josh Allen is even people thought he was gonna be the MVP this year. especially after the way they roasted and rolled all over Kansas City. You know, it made it look like, oh, he was gonna run away with this, but that wasn't the case. They've been really inconsistent. The defense has been weak at times. The offense has been weak at times. So far, the only digs anybody really fears is Trayvon in Dallas, because Stephon is still that dude, but nobody's really.
He's a little MIA this year.
Yeah, so the run game has been at best.
That was too nice, and I think that was a little up talk by you, because I think this week was the first time they ran. It's horrible.
It might have been me just trying to play nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's some nice up talk there, because
I do happen to have a friend from Buffalo, currently in Buffalo right now. Happy holidays to you, and you know, I know you're a Buffalo Bills fan. I really don't want to trash your team too much, but at the same time, I'm also not getting paid by Buffalo to play nice either. Yeah, I really, depending on the weather, I think weather definitely matters more than anything. I think Belichick again is going to have something for Josh Allen, because, you know, and it's going to be really tough to sweep. You know, it's tough to sweep Buffalo. You know, if you play them 2 times a year, it's really tough to sweep them. But I just think Mac Jones, you know, and company, although they didn't do much last week against the Colts, they've shown that they can do it against Buffalo, and that's kind of what matters right now. Judon and company on defense, you know, they have their stuff cut out for them as always, but I'm thinking Patriots. Someone to pick. I'm picking Patriots. I'm picking Patriots. What you thinking, Lou? I mean, what you thinking about?
Yeah, Buffalo Bills. What can we say about them? The failed potential. It really, you know what it is? They're really good at beating up bad teams. Like, they blow them out. So you see that and you're like, whoa, this team's legit. And then comes in a good team and then they just falter. For whatever reason, I think a lot of it was they're just not even trying to run the ball. So they thought Josh Allen was the running back for some reason. So that didn't work out, obviously. They finally ran the ball. I think if they run the ball, they might have a chance against the Patriots. But Belichick, he always finds something. Like, I think he's going to take something away from them. He's going to play a different angle. You know, he's not going to run. He's not going to do that run heavy style again. So he's going to play them differently. I don't see the Bills doing. I don't see them stopping or creating enough against that defense, because the only weakness on their defense is they can't really stop the run. You know, that's their weakness. I mean, don't get me wrong, they don't give up a lot of yards, but you can at least run on them with some. Passing is not going to be there for them. And if the Bills don't try and run the ball, they're not going to win. So just for that, I think they don't have the backs, and they definitely probably don't have the trust in them, because they never used them to do that. So yeah, I'm going with the Pats. I think they're going to win by probably a field goal. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. It's probably 10-12 or something, whatever.
I can see that. Yeah, it's very possible. We've had some other good matchups this week. I mentioned Green Bay, Cleveland. You have another good one in Baltimore, Cincinnati. But we're going to go for that final game on Monday night, actually. The surprisingly hot Dolphins going against a team that just shut out Tom Brady for the first time ever. Almost. It feels like Tom Brady has not been shut out in damn near 15 years. I think.
Yeah.
Or yeah, it's amazing.
15,
It's an amazing feat that the Saints did. Saints may not have much of an offense, but they sure as hell got a good ass defense.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins also, it seems like ever since they beat the Ravens, they've been red hot too. So much so that they were only a 2-win team going against Baltimore, and now they're 7-7. So, and that playoff picture is looking real up for grabs. Before we even get to our pick, Baltimore currently is the 8th seed. Depending if we beat Cincinnati, we'll be right back on top. But even with that, Cincinnati's 8-6. Baltimore's 8-6. But in terms of teams that were tied with Miami, you got Vegas, you got Cleveland, and you got Denver. So this is looking like it's going to go to the final game. Even if it went down to the final game, and let's say Baltimore was tied with Miami gets that because they have the tiebreaker. So this is going to be a very interesting game. It's like this game is actually not for filler. We actually
it matters.
This one actually matters, even for the Saints. It matters for them as well because they also are fighting for that last playoff seed. They're tied in terms of 7-7 teams as well. Minnesota at the 7th seed, Philadelphia with the 8th seed. Right behind them is New Orleans, and even if by chance the Washington football teams beat Dallas, even they'll probably get some momentum. So, but going into this, like I said, it's the Monday night game. It is Miami. It is at New Orleans. Brian Flores, his team is responding to him. I think Tua is out. I think I saw something about Tua got hurt last week.
I'm not sure it was hurt. I haven't seen it. If anything, COVID.
I think Tua got hurt.
I have to check.
Yeah, so Tua has been it's funny, Tua and Brissett have been kind of like sharing snaps, and Tua, ever since he got back into the game, has been playing pretty good ball. I guess he's trying to say I'm not a bust. And the Dolphins have just been playing pretty good ball. November and December has been their month. And I don't see a reason why this stops now. I know New Orleans has a really good defense. I know Sean Payton, his team responds to him. Is shown all these years. That's why he's been there all these years. But I just got a sick feeling that Miami's going to pull this one out. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring at all. It may be a field goal matchup. It could be easily 18-15. Just all field goals by itself. I just don't trust New Orleans offense. That's what scares me the most. And they're going against a banged up Buccaneers team who has players that were suspended due to fake vaccine cards on offense and on defense, and just health and safety stuff. So, and they still couldn't score points on them like that. So, I just think Miami is the better team in this week. What you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, ever since the whole trade talk fizzled out with trade of Tua, he's started to play better. I think they're in a 7-game win streak, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Flores is a good defensive coach. He's got the defense going again. Tua's doing what he needs to do. He's playing his strength. He's accurate, quick passes, and get the ball out quickly. So he's been doing that. Sometimes they do struggle on offense still for some reason. They get stagnant, but I think they need to develop their run game a little bit more. But like you said, I think in this particular game, I think Miami's just slightly better. New Orleans defense is great, but that's it. They don't have offense. I mean, Tua is not the greatest quarterback in the world, but he's better than what New Orleans has. So I trust that they can at least put up some points. I don't the way the Dolphins defense been playing. I think it'll be tough for New Orleans to get points. So I don't trust in Taysom Hill or whoever they put him back there these days. Yeah. So with Simeon, is it? I don't know. Whoever it is back there is not the guy. So I just don't trust their offense. I think again Miami just has slightly more. And the other thing is that New Orleans coming off this big win for them, beating Tampa. I think this one's a little bit of a letdown for them. You know, they already had that big win. They probably let their guard down a little bit on this one. So I like Miami.
Yeah. As good as Alvin Kamara is, unfortunately, he's not quarterback and running back. So
yeah, they don't have a clone.
Yeah, that's our 5 for this week. As I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, you know, a very inspirational game for all of us has been Madden. There's the All Madden documentary on Christmas Day, 2 p.m. on Fox. I think everybody's going to enjoy that one. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be at work, but I'll definitely record it, watch it when I get in. Also, the COVID outbreak, you know, the Omicron variant, you know, has been pretty prevalent and so forth. Not as many deaths, and that could be due to vaccination status and so forth. But a lot of games, especially in the NBA, are being postponed due to the inactivity of certain players. I know for my Nets alone, we haven't played the past 2 games, 3 games, because tonight's game against Portland is suspended or postponed until further notice. You know, a lot of NBA teams have been fighting through this. NFL teams, same thing, have been fighting through health and safety protocol stuff. The NHL season is on pause after Christmas. You know, it's the final few weeks for football. Basketball, Adam Silver said he's not really looking to pause the season. But like, what do you think is going to happen with some of these things? Or do you think it's going to throw a loop for the football stuff? Like playoff time? Do you think some weeks may get canceled or?
I don't know. I don't know how. My guess is that NFL won't cancel anything. They'll, if anything, they'll reshuffle, you know, do a Tuesday night, Wednesday night game if they have to. I don't think they will cancel anything. And I think they're even changing some of the COVID restrictions to try and adapt a little bit better to this variant because, like you just mentioned, it's not as it's more contagious, but it's not as severe as the other variants. So if you're vaccinated, you should be pretty safe, you know, mild conditions, if anything. So at least that's been the general case of it. So I think just right now, people are just really nervous of seeing the high amounts of it. So, you know, they're just afraid if hospitals get backed up and so whatnot. So, which is, you know, obviously important. But because of that, I just don't think the NFL will do it. I don't think they'll cut back. And I probably see the NBA probably adapting something similar to the NFL, and probably NHL does something similar. Because yeah, I mean, as this thing evolves, they have to treat it differently. I mean, because it definitely is not the same thing. So it would make more sense, like if these guys are not symptomatic and they're vaccinated. I mean, I don't see what's the problem with them playing. So
yeah, I'm not thinking. I think the same with the NFL. You know, they just reshuffle games Tuesday night and so forth, if need be. I know they're looking at it as we got 3 weeks left. I don't foresee them canceling the final week and just letting the standings be as is. I think that will raise hell for a lot of owners and players if they were to do something like that. And I know, as they're just trying to get to that final week, After that, you don't have as many teams playing anymore. You're down to 14. And that's, in a in the 3-day time schedule, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday games.
Right.
And I think at best, and I think this for both NFL and NBA, I think at best they may limit crowds, similar to what they kind of did beginning, before they let everybody come back in. They had a limitation of who could come in and so forth. They may
like
do that
50%
again.
Capacity.
Yeah, I think that may happen at best. Even in the NBA spectrum, I know, especially in New York City, we have a new mayor coming in. I know Boston, in terms of the teams that play actually in Boston, which would be the Bruins and the Celtics. They have an indoor mask mandate, but the vaccination thing doesn't apply to sports professionals. I don't know if the new New York elect Mayor Adams is going to adopt the same rule. To me, it would make sense to do that, only because the current rule doesn't make any sense anyway. That a visitor player could be unvaccinated and play, but a home player couldn't do the same thing. Like, it just doesn't make really sense. Like, they spend as much time in the same gym as anybody else. You spend the most time on your practice court, not around, an arena, so
they probably did that just in a fairness thing, saying, all right, you won't lose your best player because he's now vaccinated. You come into the state that requires it. That's my assumption.
To me, like,
otherwise, it just makes no sense.
Honestly, it sounds like de Blasio, just de Blasio, but that's the New York thing. If anybody watching, we ain't really care for our mayor much, but especially me, I didn't really care for my mayor much. But that was before and even after the rule. It just made no damn sense. Like, if anything, I felt like if you're going to go all out, you'd be like Toronto, and Toronto's like, nah, nobody's coming here unless you're vaccinated. It's either all in or all out. That's how I kind of see it. If you're going to make exceptions for some people, but not people who are in your city, it just makes no sense. It's whatever to me. But, nonetheless, everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, hug your loved one. Time is relative. We've all experienced loss in our lives, and I don't think the Christmas, it's so much about the gifts. Honestly, I do think about the gifts for Christmas. It's really the gift of life, and those who are there for us, and those who are around us. So I think that's the gift I'm gifted myself every week, being with you, Ben, being with Lou as well, the friends that I have, the family that I have, I love everybody. I love all. So I mean, so honestly, that's my Christmas gift, and I'm happy to share that with you, and everybody else. But hopefully, God willing.
I appreciate that, bro. And I must say, hold on, bro. I gotta tell you, bro, that was touching. I love it. I love it. But the way you said it, I think you have a chance at the homework channel, bro.
You know what?
Put the words together.
I'm trying. We may see that. I mean, like, I ain't trying to cry on camera, but it's New Year's is coming up. Thank you, bro. New Year's is coming up. We got more picks coming for y'all. Hopefully, New York State finally makes betting live. I would hope before January 1st, but New York State is New York State.
I think it's in the new year.
Yeah, it's looking like 2022 more than 2021 anything. That would be a great Christmas gift for anybody like me, who would like to bet. Anybody
I believe they're shooting for before the playoffs start, at least.
Yeah, so that's looking like the second week of January then. But until then, Oh, damn. The week 18 shows my birthday. Shit. So,
Hey.
but anyway.
There you go. That's the gift.
So anyway, to all, happy holidays. I love everybody. Love all y'all. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Tell a homie. This is Homie Picks. Jared and Ben this week. Lou was with us, but not with us. And we'll come back at you next week, week 17. Until then.
Sir.
Peace.
Happy Christmas, y'all.
Yeah.